Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota. Tim! After 2 days of driving the cement truck, aka Super Crusher, cement truck is also a C, so she's got a nickname. Let me tell you, it's so smooth sometimes, but when you go over speed bumps or over these curbs, crossing the driveways, you can tell she's beefed up. She's ready to put all the weight you can add to the back of that bed. What a beefy suspension this thing's got. So I got the bike back there. I'm heading back to the house. Gonna go to the gym. I might park the cement truck and get on the bike with my new tires and ride that over to LA Fitness. More exercise. You don't have any idea how about it I am. Nothing to do with a cardiologist or meds or anything like that. It's just that, when I make my mind up something, that's it. So I have eschewed some things that I know are definitely, causing weight gain. And I replaced it with something else. But, this biking and I'm going to go get on the treadmill at the gym is what I'm going to do. I'm also going to do my cable exercise, which I love. But I'm going to definitely do a couple of miles minimum on the treadmill at an elevated level. And I'm going to start taking some measurements. I'm on my third day. Today will be the third day. I don't take the blood pressure pill until the evening, and I'm on 50 milligrams. My top number is 131 yesterday. Doctor said if it's not 120 to 125 at the highest in 2 weeks, we're going up, baby. You're going up. You're going to take more pills. Nah, just kidding. He wasn't. But I am. Damn, this air conditioner works good. Turn that down a little bit. Another beautiful day. It's been so long since I've seen rain. I'm going to really freak out when the rain starts showing up every day at 4 o'clock. Thunderstorms, lightning, possible tornadoes. We don't get them as bad as certain parts of the country on the tornadoes, but we can definitely get some bad thunderstorms. Everybody's trying to get on the freeway, and I am too. So it is now, time check, it's 86 degrees already? No way! Doesn't really feel like it out there. I'm getting 9.6 miles per gallon. She's a good girl. Yeah, what a thirsty pig she is. The other day it said 11. I don't know. All that city driving. Doesn't even get 10? Come on. I thought things get 10 towing campers. I think this thing's supposed to get like 15. So disappointing. I'm so glad I have the CC Rider, which I'll be back in. I wanted to take this to the car wash, but I've got the tonneau cover open with the bike on the back, so I can't go through there right now. I'll have to run back over there later. And then I'll park her in front of the Super Crusher and go wash the CC Rider. Same old things. I've had nothing to eat this morning. I could have had bacon and eggs, but I didn't have any with me. I went and got some coffee at McDonald's. You saw the bike video. I hope you did. I put the rear tire on. I'm all in love with the bike again. Even though I'm going to get an e-bike. I really like the Trek. I went up and down that hill at Nathan Benderson, and now that it has knobbies on it, I mean, you can literally, I went at a little bit of an angle, but that thing will shift in such a low gear. It's a mountain bike. It's not a road bike. It doesn't go fast. But man, will it crawl? Will it go over and up anything? The wind was pretty heavy at the park because it's kind of an open space there over that lake. And wind plays hell bike riding. I mean, when you got that headwind, that's why it's good to have gears. But like when I go to the gym, it might be a bigger windbreak around town with the buildings and everything, and I'll be able to cruise smoothly. So I might ride it to the gym when I get home. So I'm gonna get up here to 70 and get off right now. And it's the weekend. I'm contemplating on getting a room and going to Naples, possibly Monday. Things are more expensive on the weekends generally. And go down there and tool around down there and see what it's about and bring some videos for you guys. Naples, Florida. It's a couple hours south. We'll go down there and see what's happening. The most concentration of millionaires anywhere. I've heard that once. I don't know if it's true now. But the eye is still, I mean, I just can't believe jumping in the pool, doing those, let's take a look at it. Notice how it's on the eyelid. Black eyes generally are down here. I do have a mark right there, but apparently someone told me it is getting better, and it just takes time. It's changing the color. I do bruise easy too. It's just so weird. I won't be doing any more preacher seats in the pool anymore. That's for sure. Man, you got to be tough. I guess my eye's not very tough. Maybe those eye drops and everything has got those blood vessels so, like taking aspirin, your blood's so thin, if you get a cut, you bleed easy. But I can't explain it other than it looks bad. But I don't have the pain anymore. It feels better. What was I going to tell you guys? It sounds like a lot of not a lot, some disappointment within the community of the fact that I'm going to follow doctor's orders. I talk to my doctor. I use my common sense, and I've heard all the comments that I've read, things that I believe. Third leading cause of death is going to a doctor. I know all these different things. And, while, people have their opinions about doctors and drugs, I know that if I have a headache or I got inflammation and I take an Advil, it goes away. So certain drugs do work and respond and fix things immediately. So they call high blood pressure the silent killer. And what causes it? I guess salts. The doctor said, remember, it's not the shaker, it's the salts in the food. And, I've heard basically the opposite in the comment section about fat, salt, grease, oil, and butter and the like, that's all good for you and going to cure everything. And I don't disagree, because I'm not an expert. But the problem is, I was watching a video this morning with Tucker Carlson. He does a podcast. He interviewed this guy. It's pretty good. It just came out like a day ago. What was his name? He's from Hungary, born in Hungary. He's older than I am. And he was talking about some things that I found very interesting about our country, the politics. We're arguing over the wrong things. And there are cycles in the world where different cycles, like economy, inflation, recessions, depressions. What are the words that best describe this guy was, the the technologies, with the social media, the universities. We had riots and things. We've gone through a lot of things, but unlike a lot of countries that, we sorted out. We evolved. How do you put it? Anyway, I don't have the words in my mind. I know it, but we get through it. And while we've had a few bad years, and we might have a couple more of this transition that our country's going through, there's a lot of good coming, a lot of good. And the way he put it, and the way I believe it anyway, I believe that's all true. And you can watch it. It's a Tucker Carlson interview he did with this guy. And he talked about the war. Did you know that he said that Russia is way overrated? We think that we can't beat Russia or China and all that. Do you realize that Russia's been fighting that war for 3 years and haven't beaten a country that's a fraction of the size of them and only took a slither of that country? What does that tell you? We're still the most powerful nation. China has no chance of beating us in a war because we have military bases lined up all along guarding us from them. They have to get through a narrow path. And we have all these satellites and things. This guy talked a little bit about the future is the battle of space. We have a lot of satellites that'll be either falling or going out of orbit and going into deeper space. He was talking about newer satellites with different materials instead of plastic and metals that we use now, to some solar things and different things. But all of these technologies that send information down to us, we have to keep up. And the issue that we're going through, the change that we're going through in our country, this 50-year period since the last thing, is, look, we are dependent upon a handful of countries for all of our materials and resources, for our military, for the products that we buy and use, and all of these things. That if God forbid, a war were to break out, or a typhoon, not a typhoon, some kind of natural disaster, earthquake, and destroy one of these other countries, or create a problem in their infrastructure for a while, look what we would be. We'd be SOL without being able to get our supply. So we're too dependent on supply chains. We have to, and all this is going to take time. And so now that's what we're going through. And some new things are going to be coming about, and we will change to do what we need to do for us. But we're still the greatest power. We're still the best place to be. And I don't think we're going to fall into some World War III. I don't think we're going to be, the world is, our country is going to collapse the economy. We went through a depression. We went through, Civil War. And those were worse than this that we've encountered. So this is just something. And yet the guy was talking about, we're relying on experts. He started talking about Fauci a little bit, saying, he's a doctor, love him or hate him or whatever. He is a doctor, and the doctor said, don't go to school, stay inside. And so now, we have a government and a world of people and politicians that don't listen to anybody but themselves, and they lack common sense. He starts talking about Roosevelt or Eisenhower, one of them guys that didn't understand a lot of those things, but he had common sense. So this is where the one element of our country is going to be put back in, and I know I'm going around the whole thing. It was like a lot of information I got this morning on this Tucker Carlson podcast. I found it extremely interesting. And of course, it's one man's opinion, but hey, you know, he wasn't coming in saying doom and gloom and the woke is the problem and the Democrats are the problem. You know, we're sitting here arguing over the silliest stuff that has got nothing to do with anything. It's so not even the thing. It's ridiculous. And we're going to get away from that, and we're going to come together. We're going to figure it all out. And so this is the storm before the calm. I think that's the title of that podcast. So it's the storm before the calm. And that's what we're going through right now. And it talks about this 100 days. You know how they talk about the first 100 days of a presidency? He does all he can, any president, in 100 days, and then he meets resistance. And so the resistance has been formed. The resistance is always formed against any president. And then he has to pivot. He has to negotiate. He has to work with. And so watch that podcast. Pretty interesting. Anyway, I'm inspired, and I think that we are going through a period that is the storm. But we got calm coming, baby. We got crushing it coming.